Good morning. 9 o'clock straight up. I think that's pretty much made it on the second. Wasn't watching the clock, but it should be close. Got to get an audio confirmation here. I don't even know if it's going to come up as muted. When it wakes up, here it is. Wasn't watching the clock. Not muted. And now monitoring screen number 2. Hello, wake up over there. There it goes. And it is muted. So April 7th, 2023. On a Friday, this stream will redirect to Carrie Holzman's stream. And I pinned a comment in the chat room that has the link for Ken Stout's live show that begins right after this show ends. So you can click on that link to get there. And what am I going to do? I do have a script titled Friday Show. I think I might only wind up doing one of those, though, because one of those is more interesting than the others. And that, what's that? Sound like Sesame Street or something? One of these is different than the others. I got to turn on the picture-in-picture, zoom in here. What do we got? What are you guys saying? Oh, I can't even see the top comment because that silly pinned comment. It's not pinged, Doug. It's pinned. Here, I can't even see it here. I know that there's a joke up there. I want to get to it. Can I hide this? Remove, unpin message. All right, I'll unpin it. There we go, Nick Poverman. Yeah, because I got a chuckle out of this one. After I cut my fingernails, I used to file them. Now I throw them in the garbage. Ken Stout says, good morning. I do have a stream right after you. And thank you, Ken, for that. That is really helpful when you put that in chat because it not only reminds me, but it informs me. Greg M. mutters about an online backup program that by default skips user app data folder entirely. Really? Great if one is saving passwords in the browser and not syncing them to the cloud. I think, is that sarcasm? Because I think those saved passwords are probably stored in app data. So it's not great if one is saving passwords in the browser and not syncing them. Yeah. I don't think Greg was referring to somebody else's comment. I guess that's just him muttering about it. Mike Bozic, good morning. Rick Lakes, good morning or afternoon. Danielle Emberley, distracted this morning by a pending 3-figure credit card charge associated with an electronic retailer. Yes, I had one 2 days ago. It was for $1.23. 3 figures. Just kidding. I know that's not what you mean, Danielle. Not even sure what I looked at to initiate that. Seems you can't even look at an ad. Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. A client who got some undesirable charges. Rand Israel says hello. That's me putting in that link. Okay, so now I'm going to repin that so it shows at the top. I'm not sure how useful those pins at the top are because you don't see the whole thing. Actually, you do see the whole thing for mine because it fits across the width of the screen. There's Rick Lakes, Nick Poverman, Ken Seldenball, 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Hang on a moment. And confirming unmuted. Kenny Whitten, hello. Parker Morris, hello. Dennis says the very first retired USAF E-3 Sentry aircraft departed Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma City this morning. It will spend the rest of its days at U.S. Air Force Boneyard in Tucson, Arizona. I know. It's Tucson, not Tucson. Mark Baggett says hi. Let's see. Are there more? Yep, I'm all caught up there. So what was this thing I wanted to talk about today? I got a thing about LastPass locked-out. I don't think we're going to get to that. We got a QuickBooks transfer issue, mistake by a client. Oh, we got a bait and switch. I caught a YouTuber doing a bait and switch tactic, clickbait, where either the thumbnail or the title is very likely to draw somebody to click to it, and then they give you some other comment, some other content, not what in this case the title said. The show that did that was Ken Stout Live. The Ken Stout Live show did a bait and switch on me. I clicked on a video of his expecting certain content, and I did not get it. I got something else entirely. I'll prove it to you. I'll show you. You're saying, well, Ken doesn't do that. Ken doesn't do those kind of things. Let's go see here what he done did to me. I saw this. I'll go to his channel. Whoops, I'm not showing you my process for getting there. This one right here. This one with what's his name? I know the name. Oh well. What was the click and bait, Doug? Here, that looks okay to me. Well, I thought the video was going to be about SwordSoft, and it is not about SwordSoft at all. It's about a product called SwordSoft. I wanted to see a SwordSoft because that's a more unique product. Can't find that anywhere else. I thought Ken was demonstrating SwordSoft. If you're new around here, maybe you don't know. Ken and I poke fun at each other. I know it was a typo. And Ken stopped. LOL. So I can't spell. He can cast spells. He can throw spells on you. But actually spelling words, well, who needs to do that? American Legend says, good afternoon. I wasn't expecting you today, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Well, American Legend, welcome. I'm thinking that's Mark from North Carolina. I think that's who American Legend is. SwordSoft, pretty good. Yeah, clickbait. So that takes care of one of these on today's script. And the last one is the reason for my being absent without leave yesterday. No, it wasn't without leave. I told you I wasn't going to do a show yesterday, so I had leave. I did not do a live Windows training show last night or yesterday morning because, remember, Doug, this is Good Friday. You got to do this good. You got to perform good because it's Good Friday. No, that's not the story behind Good Friday. We know that. So, yes, yesterday I told you I had a client appointment. Wait a minute. No, that was a different story. I didn't even have that story on my list. No, the morning client appointment was, oh, it's worth telling too. So I'm going to add another one here. GMW. And Ken's doing a live stream, so if I go a little bit over that's okay, I guess. Yeah, the reason why I missed yesterday is I went to a client, is an attorney. He had a WebEx meeting with a judge and the other parties in the case. And last time he tried to do WebEx, it did not go well. And the judge got really irritated with him. So I've told you in previous Windows Daily episodes about me testing WebEx with that client. I ran into a little issue with Big Beast build on that, but I already told you about that. So I went to his office to be there during the conference. And it was a good thing that I did because we did have a little glitch going into it, even though we were already tested. Wasn't a glitch really worth describing? Okay, well, I guess it was. He had also the WebEx software installed on the computer, and when he clicked on a link to go to it, it would ask him, do you want to launch this in the browser or the application? And the first time through, we did browser, and that didn't work. So then we went back and did it with the application. I'm thinking you might have a similar situation as I needed, is you just uninstall that application and just do it off the web, because he doesn't host WebEx meetings himself. So that would just avoid him getting asked that question. Because if I uninstall what might be the outdated WebEx and install the current WebEx version, he's still going to get faced with that question. And he's not what anyone, including him, would call a computer literate person. So we want to eliminate any extra steps that he has to do. But the story I wanted to tell was later in the day, another attorney called me from home, not in the office, from home, that, actually sent me, was it a text? I think it must have been a text, kind of a panic sounding message. Is she there? No, I don't see it. I'll just have to talk off of memory, but something like "help hacked," I think was the subject line of the even of the email. Why am I trying to get to this? There it is. Can you call me on my home phone? I may have just done something real stupid. And the subject line said hacked. I used a number and talked to a person. Now my phone is going crazy and I'm really worried. So I drove out about half an hour drive. So it took a little while to get there. She turned her phone off until I could deal with it. I said, yeah, I should come out and look this over. Because what she told me over the phone was, I'm going to kind of consolidate all of what I know about the story now. So this is a little bit more than what she told me by phone. But what happened is she had gone to Whole Foods. So kind of a niche grocery store, I'll call it, and tried to use her Amazon Prime card. Apparently you can get some discount by using an Amazon Prime card, or she was using it as a credit card. I'm not sure. I've never tried to do that piece. But anyway, they said that it's not declined. They said your Prime subscription has expired or it's not valid, something like that. So she was concerned about that. She goes home. She does a Google search looking for a phone number to call Amazon. Stop, time out. Don't do that. Don't do that. Searching the web for a phone number. Do you know what you're going to get? I'll let you answer in chat. Give some time for people to answer in chat what she got by searching for a phone number for Amazon. She calls the number and she speaks to someone who proceeds to help her. He talks her through doing some things on her phone, which includes going to the Play Store. It's a Google Android phone. Go to the Play Store and install a support app, which is disguised with a name that sounds like it's for their company, but it actually turns out to be, what's that real common one? The real common one, the one that Alex uses and others in the community. And anyway, the person is connected to her phone and is having her do some other things. And then he gets control. And I didn't know that particular remote application can actually control an Android phone. Not surprised, really, but on my Log Me and Rescue, that doesn't work. And some screens go up, pull up on her screen, and she sees a $300 charge to something. She said another $100 gift card charge. And she said, what is this? Yeah, it was TeamViewer. It was TeamViewer Winter. And in fact, didn't I take some photos? I did take some photos. I'm not sure if I'll get to showing you that or not. But he explains that, don't worry about that. That's just part of the process to get through to the steps that we need to get to. And it's actually charging on her stored American Express card. Now, by the time I got there, she had realized that there were charges on her American Express card that weren't hers, that $300 charge and a $100 gift card charge. So she had already canceled the credit card by the time I got there and ordered a new credit card. So I turned the phone on and start poking around, and I find that, yes, indeed, TeamViewer, it wasn't named that in the apps, but the app that had support one, something like that, some other name to it, was installed. And when I checked into that, it actually is TeamViewer under a different name. So I uninstalled it. I went poking around, looking at other places on her phone. And it was all about, she wanted to create a new Amazon account and have Prime on it, because she thought the Amazon account that was on her phone was actually the office's Amazon account. She wanted to have a separate Amazon account of her own. So that's what she was asking this technician on the Amazon phone number that she Google searched for to do. And the technician said, well, you already have an Amazon account, and steered her back towards the account and actually wound up placing a couple of charges to his benefit. So what we wound up doing is the account on her phone for Amazon was tied to her cell phone number, didn't even have an email address associated with it. because you can have an Amazon account just off your phone number. We looked at her purchase history and confirmed this is not the office's account. So we added her email address to it. We turned on two-factor authentication. I also confirmed that her Amazon account had actually been logged into by somebody from India, because she got would it come in an email mess? No, there was a security option in her Amazon profile we went into, and it told us that somebody signed on to the Amazon account from India, New Delhi. It was a little more specific about where it was located in India. So they actually got into her account. So anyway, we did a password reset. So that takes the password away from them. We turned on two-factor authentication to the cell phone, which wasn't previously on. It was required. Oh, here's another thing. That happened. Is she had received an email during the time that he was connected to her phone, and he had her switch to the email to display the 6-digit number. So he actually did a password reset from India and was able to see the 6-digit number because she took him to it, not understanding what was going on. And he successfully reset the password. So we reset that back to a complex password and turned on two-factor authentication and checked through recent purchases to make sure there wasn't something else purchased. Let's see, the gift card that was purchased you can't undo that. The $300 purchase that went through on the credit card we have disputed. Now, she had canceled the credit card, and I told her while I was there that when she quoted her conversation with American Express, I said, I don't know that you actually accomplished disputing that $300 charge, because you want that reversed. So she called them back, and indeed, she had not successfully disputed it. So she had canceled the card, but that charge was still there. So they got it disputed. It's going to take them a month or two before that clears. Before looking back at chat to see what you're saying about all this, I'm just contemplating whether there's anything more to do with that. So we also added Prime subscription to her Amazon account. We called into the office, had them go into their Amazon account because she was still not completely convinced that they were separate accounts, and she was afraid that she had compromised the office Amazon account. So we called into a staff member in the office, asked them to look at their purchase history, which showed the last 3 months of purchase history, and it was not the same that was showing on her phone. And the office only had 2 purchases in the last 3 months. So that was separated out. Okay, I'm going to go back to chat. That's where I left off. Doe. Here's a play on my name, Doug, and Doe. The thumbnail appropriate response from what's his name? Eileen Novak, hello to you. American Legend, Good Friday. That's who I am, and I am on the wrong account. LOL. That's who I am, and I'm on the wrong account. Oh, referring to him being Mark from North Carolina. I apologize. My tech channel is Yates Networks. Yes. That is another connection. I knew somebody had 2 accounts, and I was thinking it was Yates Network because I saw you. I think you were on Ken Stout's show last night. You had an authorized absence from yesterday's No Windows Daily Show. Ken cast. Say that 3 times in a row. Ken cast. Ken cast. A spell that puts Alex in the waiting room. Was it official leave, though? Did all the Dougs agree? No, they did not. They were definitely in wild disagreement. There was almost a fist fight broke out in the other room here between them. Every nightly promptly at 10:31 p.m. to Mike Wojcik. That's when Alex goes into the waiting room. And every 5 minutes thereafter. Pew. Good, Doug. Be good. Speak well. Yep, it is written in the script. Where is that script? that written in the scribe? Okay. Amazon owns Whole Foods. Oh, that's right. I think I did know that. A fake number is what's found when you Google search for Amazon phone numbers. Phone number for Amazon. What a laugh. These are scam calls and text messages. TeamViewer. It was TeamViewer, not AnyDesk. Nick Poverman, I get these scam text messages claiming to be Amazon at least once a week. I block them and delete the message. Imagine how many people get scammed a day. Yeah, it's craziness. You know, I'm screaming. Yeah, okay, here it goes. I'm screaming dumbass at the screen, right? Of course. Inconceivable. I know that wasn't very well done. Jeff Ryman, American Express has always been good about handling fraudulent charges in my experience. Scroll up, click the blue, and I'm caught up. All right. So I think that's all of that. And I did that one. And I still got 10 minutes, so I can go on to the QuickBooks issue. I'm distracted. Ken's comment, that's Dumas. Dumas. Okay. QuickBooks. I have a client who once a month sends their QuickBooks company file to the CPA, and the CPA does their magic and then sends it back. The way we do that is I've given her two icons on her desktop. One is the OneDrive folder that the CPA has guest access to. The other folder is the folder that contains the QuickBooks company file. We can't actually operate QuickBooks out of a OneDrive folder because QuickBooks doesn't get along with that. So we are operating QuickBooks out of the public documents, Intuit, QuickBooks company files folder. That's where they're located. Yeah, because you wanted to know that. So what she would do is when she's ready to transfer that to the client, to the CPA, she just drags the QBW file over to the CPA folder and then sends them an email and says it's there. Well, she did that recently. The CPA sent an email back the next morning. It was in her email saying, I got the file, but it didn't have any transactions for March. So I stopped. I didn't work on it. I think there's something wrong. We've had this happen before, and he went ahead and did his work without realizing that he didn't have the right copy, and it just fouled everything up. Very difficult to recover from. So he's learned to check and be sure it's the right file. Now, the administrator that's doing this transfer is new to the company. So she's still in training. And so I went poking around, working on it last night, trying to find the solution. I had already spent some time on it, couldn't find where is the right file that has the stuff. I did a couple of restores from the cloud backup, going back even about 15 days, and it was still obsolete data, did not have March data. What in the world happened? She told me that she had just been recently working in it a day or two prior to transferring it to the CPA. And so she knew it had to be there. So what I wound up finding is there was a QuickBooks company file on the desktop, on the Windows desktop, mixed in with all these other icons. And that one had all the March transactions. The desktop was backed up to OneDrive, is synchronized to OneDrive. So that was happening. And what I was able to find out, I was able to determine the date that got put onto the desktop. And it looks to me like she's actually been working in that company file from the desktop. Not quite clear what happened with my forensic examination because all the pieces aren't quite there. But this was an occasion where, when I tried using OneDrive to restore previous versions to see if maybe when she copied it into the CPA folder, it was the correct one, and the CPA accidentally copied an obsolete one back into that folder or somehow was working with the wrong one. But no, I was able to find the evidence that showed When she copied that to the shared OneDrive folder, it was the wrong company file that did not have the March transactions. So the cloud backups, did they save me? This is with Magnusbox. And when I'm trying to restore a specific file from there, it takes a long time because you're working through the cloud. You have to pick which backup file from what date that you want to restore from. And then go into that folder, it takes a long time to open. Go into another folder, it takes a long time to open. Another folder, it takes a long time to open. And it would take like 15 minutes every time I tried to restore a different date version of that one file, because it's not a good process, not a good procedure for how to do that. So got the problem resolved. She doesn't, I haven't heard from her yet today. I need to talk with her. I want to take her back in to QuickBooks and have her verify, yes, that has everything that was there, because I was concerned that maybe she did some transactions in the file that had the missing March, and she didn't realize it was missing. So maybe there were some transactions that she did outside of the check register that are not present. She also does a bank reconciliation. And so we'll see how that status is before we tell the CPA to go ahead and move forward with his work. So that's a little bit of Tech Tales. Tech Tales type of story. Jeff Tecan, quote from Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, I don't know where that was at, the dumbass. From a movie pronounced Moss. From a movie, it's pronounced Moss. Dumas, maybe. Humor is so hard to wry, much easier spoken. Still with spelling. Humor is so hard to write, much easier spoken. That's right. In French, Dumas is pronounced Dumas. Dumas. Okay, so you don't pronounce the S. Dumas. Alexandre Dumas, author of Count of Monte Cristo. No, I know that's Monte Cristo. She probably clicked on the company file in QuickBooks, open it. Yeah, I'm suspecting that she double clicked on the company file icon on the desktop, maybe just once, maybe it only took once. And I'm also suspecting that when she tried to copy that file to the OneDrive folder, I think the copy operation is automatic, so you don't have to hold down the control key. But if she accidentally dropped the file onto the desktop, not holding the control key, that might have moved it to the desktop. At that point in time, I think that file would be highlighted. If she next hit an enter key, that would have opened it without her realizing she was clicked on that file, and that would have opened it into QuickBooks. Now, every time she reopens QuickBooks using the regular QuickBooks icon, it's going to open the most recently opened company file. So that's a way it could have happened without her realizing that it was opening from the desktop. She does not have an understanding of the desktop as a storage location or the documents folder as a storage location. That's she's again not even claiming to be computer literate. Full disclosure, it's the keyboard. I typed the letter correctly. Oh, you've moved the keys around on the keyboard, right? There's a good April Fool's joke, is swap the buttons around on the keyboard. Not on the physical keys. You could do that, but that's not going to help for a touch typist. Ken's not a touch typist. That would work. You could move the... Lorna, are you listening? Well, hello, Lorna. Switch the keys around on the keyboard. Find out how to remove the keys and put them in a different place. Now, that keys can be remapped through Windows, and you could remap the keys as a April Fool's prank to somebody that you have access to their computer. Greg M. Yep, that's my thinking as well as what happened with QuickBooks. Drag and drop needs manual dexterity to agree. That, yeah, absolutely there. And somebody I was working with recently wanted to do right-click cut and then right-click paste. In that instance, they were needing to do a cut and paste, not a copy and paste. But somebody, if they know how to do it with right click, they prefer that. If they're accustomed to drop and drag, they prefer that. I don't try to change somebody's comfort zone. Been there, tried that. Does not work. Lorna's sleeping as she is there. And I do touch type. Oh, that's right. He does touch the keys when he types. Oh, it's Dennis that claims once in a while that he's not a touch typist, not Ken. And they both touch the keys on the keyboard when they type. Well, that's 9:30. Not straight up, straight down. And I really got through more topics than I thought I would have time for. What I'd like to do, because I want to give you pictures and stuff, but didn't really have them today. I think I had some, but I didn't get to them. Ken Stout, here they come on the run. What's the rest of that song? Here we come, the monkeys. See, I know it's the monkeys. That's my email address if you want to send a question for me to respond to. Oh, okay. I'm going to give you one more thing. Relax, Ken. I got to acknowledge these comments. I think it was 2 days ago, not yesterday, because I didn't live stream yesterday. 2 days ago, I said that there's no comments on my channel for me to respond to. And 3 of you come up and do this. Chris Garrett, here's a comment to you to reply to. Ken Stout, here's another comment you can reply to. And then Jeff Ryman, now I can't decide which one to reply to. So I get you funny people. So I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart, thumbs up and a heart, thumbs up and a heart. Well, Ken's live. I could still do this, right? Tim Salad, about Tim's computer repair. I was talking to him about him being one of the channels that I couldn't reach out to. This was excellent work from Nithu Xavier, and he's responding to the Gmail reverse order video. And then this one, Windows 10 Home to Pro. K. Chanapatan says, thank you very much, sir, from India. I had bought Windows 10 Pro key from online. It would not accept. I am searching about this free upgrade Home to Pro several times. Thanks a lot, sir. I will try this trick. Surely, thank you. You are welcome. I'll say you are most welcome. All right. Let's get out of here. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.